It's so many oceans deep, river wide, valley low, and mountain
What's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all.
I want to know, first of all, if you're proud of me for not having a mess up this week. Well, so far. You know what I'm saying?
You said that. You said that quick, though.
Yeah, I did.
You did say that quick. But, yes. I'm proud of you, babe. We got on here and there was no,
extra buttons to push or nothing like that. You know
no
what I'm saying?
fiddling and paddling.
No messing up. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
you hear that horse? You hear that primo?
What's up, Chimes? Good to see y'all. And several of you are, live from New York. And
Yes.
Horace, I don't know what that is. I have no idea what kind of emoji that is. What's up, Madeline? And good evening,
Hey,
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
You're talking about Chimes, where you at? You said at the dining table.
Okay.
Are you also eating? Jeremiah, what's up? Round of
What up,
applause for John.
Jeremiah?
Thank you very much for not messing up
No
anything
glitches.
tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, so far.
What up, Akua?
So far, so good. Now, hola, Akua.
Thank you, Madeline.
Good to see you. Someone did get their hair did. That is correct.
I did.
And there was a reason
I
for
can't
that.
do my
down
hair,
there.
y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
I told y'all about that. Can't do my hair.
Yeah.
So my niece hooked me up. My niece Ari hooked me up.
Primo
so.
wants to know, how long did the first lady have to sit for that hairdo?
Not long. I don't have a whole lot of hair.
Hold on.
Not long.
What's not long?
3 hours is not that long.
Yeah, for that, it's not that long.
Seriously, like
but
most people sit in the chair for hours. Hey, Cynthia.
how many
thank
hours is
you.
hours? What
I
constitutes
mean,
long for a woman to
Like
get her
an
hair done?
entire day.
That is true.
Keish, you are a top fan?
Oh, she's a top fan now.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Cynthia,
Yes.
glad you like the hair too. That's good. So yeah, I don't agree. I don't think that 3
6
hours is
hours,
not that long.
Madeline, thank you.
6 hours is long. Okay.
Yes, 3 hours is not long at all to get,
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Perspective is really funny because, us guys, well, first of all, this takes me like 5 minutes to shave my
Well, that
face
would be
and
nice.
my head.
I
You know
actually
what
would
I'm saying?
love to do that. Just
I'm
shave
sure
it
you
all
would.
off. You could just get up and go.
I'm sure you
be,
would.
That would be beautiful. So I have to say, he talking about mine said 3 hours. That's not that long.
You have to say what? I know it's what y'all doing at the same time.
I just have to say.
I already know. And it's fine. We're fine with it because we're doing it too.
I just have to say, look who is playing the Bucks right now. That's all I have to say. Look who's playing the Bucks right now. Shut it. I see. It's so funny because Primo didn't come on here saying anything about that. This was so funny to me. He did not say a word, and that's okay because we know the deal now. You don't have to say anything because the game speaks for itself.
That is
so
true.
you really don't
You're right.
have to say anything. So thank you to my team. I appreciate that.
We feel sorry for you, all you
know,
Philly fans. Sorry,
Trey
guys.
just did his thing, and
Same thing happened to you that happened to me. New York got jacked.
Yeah.
Now
So
Philly done got jacked. Well,
Primo said nothing.
we'll see what happens
He's still
now. though.
quiet. Anyway,
Primo said, my son said, and I'm assuming that's a finger pointing to the score? I don't know. It's 22-26 right now.
see,
I
look
don't
what
know.
Cynthia said. No, 3 hours is not that long at all. My hair usually takes 8 hours.
8 hours, Lord have
8
mercy.
hours. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. April talking like she's the coach.
I'm just saying.
That is true. She is. Primo said, shut your mouth.
Don't hate. Don't hate.
Yes, Donnell. NY forever, boy. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter what we're doing right now. We haven't won in a long time, but you know what I'm saying? Mama likes your hair,
Thank
by
you,
the way.
Mommy.
Yeah, I like it too. Looks good. Okay. So I want to start with a poll. Yeah, exactly. Knicks forever. And by the way, just for those who are really fans, Brooklyn, even though they now live in Brooklyn, those are not the Brooklyn Nets. Those are the New Jersey Nets. So we are actually happy as New York Knicks fans that the Nets got beat. Okay, we were not actually rooting for the Nets. No real Knicks fan would ever root for the Nets.
Well, I'm a Knicks fan when they are not playing against the Hawks.
I like to hear you say that, man.
And, they need some fans to root for them as they keep
brother.
losing. So.
Keith said 8 hours? Laugh out loud. So Keith knows because he's the one
Right.
that takes his wife probably to get her hair done.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Okay, so guys, we got a poll for you. This is what was on our Instagram today, and we hope you filled it out. Some of y'all did, and let me see. Here it is. So it was a poll question, really, several of them, that was trying to figure out whether or not you've ever done any kind of online dating. So the first question really was, how many of y'all are single, how many of y'all are married? So of the people that took the poll, 33% were single, 66% were married.
Yeah.
And the question was, have you ever tried a dating service or dating app? And 41% said yes, 59% said no. I'm actually not surprised at that.
That's a high number.
It is, but it's not based on our experience.
I mean, from what I was.
That's about in line with what we see.
Yeah, that's about in line. Exactly.
A lot of people
I
these
agree.
days do online dating. It's like a regular thing.
Right.
And so we asked, how was your experience with dating apps and services? 44% said they'll never use them again.
Wow.
But 39% said,
Okay.
17% said it works for them. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty low, 17%.
It is.
Now, are the men's, is that like, it was okay, but because it wasn't like the best, I just didn't do it again.
Right.
Because think about it, if they did it again and maybe tried again, they could be moved over to the it works for me.
True.
It works for me, people probably stuck with it for significant
I actually
amount of
feel
time.
like the never agains are the ones you really care about in this situation. The men's probably are like,
do it again.
it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really
good. But the
good.
never agains, you're saying, I think they just, when you have one horrible experience, you probably never go back.
Exactly. You probably say, forget it, I'm
Right.
never doing it again.
Right.
All right, now, in the best possible scenario, would you try speed dating? 50% said yes.
Okay.
25% said depends, and another 25% said nope, never again. So here's what I like about that. You have 44% saying never again that they would use an app or dating service, but possibly what they did was probably a more traditional dating circumstance.
Right.
Maybe they didn't try speed dating, and so that's why so many more percent said they would actually try it. So I think
Right.
that's pretty cool.
I think it's cool too.
Yeah, I think it's cool largely because of our sponsor. Our sponsor is called Link, and Link is actually doing a speed dating situation coming up. We have an opportunity for you to be able to try this thing out. And so
Yes.
what is Link, babe?
So Link is a virtual speed dating social interaction app that allows users to go on 60-second video interactions with people in their local region or around the world.
Yes. So in a world where dating apps have become primary venue for meeting people, our team has created a product that allows users to see, hear, and interact prior to matching.
Our product combines the successful principles of speed dating with the natural dynamics of human interaction.
Yes.
All on a video platform.
So coming up is a speed dating event. It is happening on the 27th of June. That's right around the corner.
Coming up, guys.
Yes, and you can register for this if you would like to be a part of it at linkdatingapp.com. You register and you'll be able to join in this new revolution. From what I understand, based on what we've seen on this thing, it seems like something that's interesting. Like, if I was single, I might actually try it. You know
I
what I'm
would
saying?
try it because there's no strings attached as much as if you connect with somebody. I don't know how this dating goes online, whatever, but
Right.
I'm just saying, like, it seems like you don't have to necessarily stay connected to that person if you don't want to.
True.
You can just,
It's a 60-second interaction.
Seconds, you just,
where you get an opportunity
Yeah.
to see if there's something there, and if there's nothing, then you just move on to the next 60 seconds, and it's
Right.
not a problem.
Right.
So the way it works is pretty cool. Actually, we watched a video on it last time. Maybe we'll show it again today at some point, just to give people an idea of what's going to happen. Now, it's funny because when stuff like this happens, I hear a lot of people say what Horace said. I heard hardly no men are signing up.
yeah.
Now, this is the thing.
Now, why is that?
Well, the reality is that's the sort of the stereotype about
Yeah.
stuff like this,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
men don't normally do it.
Right.
Well, the reality is, our understanding is, based on the people that are putting this together, that this speed dating event is not going to happen unless there's an equal amount. In fact, it is going to happen no matter what, but the way they set it up, there's going to be an equal amount of men and women involved in the process. So you're not going to feel like there's not that many men, not enough to go with the women. It'll be equal. And hopefully you'll be one of the ones that signs up for it
Yeah,
and
so
tries
sign
it
up,
out.
guys, and then
Yeah.
tell us what you think. Tell us how it went.
Yeah, we'd love to know.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right,
tonight,
ready for our conversation.
yes, we have a topic. So
Hold up, I just have to stop for a second because, Primo's letting me know, and I'm watching the game, Primo. Bucks are up 20 in the second quarter.
That's not
yes.
true.
Huh?
They're not up by 20 in the second quarter.
Whatever. Are you watching?
I was just watching a second ago. The score was like, they were up by like 6.
Okay, so I just want to say, the only reason why I'm pointing this out is because I need you, Primo, to be going for the Hawks right now.
Right.
Okay,
why are you
so
saying?
that's all I have to say. I need you to go ahead and root for the Hawks just because of all your talk the last, time we were on here. So
his only way to redeem himself at this point
all that junk he was talking.
Is to root for the Hawks.
Exactly.
All right, so tonight we got some special guests with us. Tonight is our Single and Fabulous. Yeah, we know you lying, Primo. I was just watching. They're up by like 6. You know what I'm saying? They're not 20. So you guys know that sometimes we have what we call Single and Fabulous. So we got some people that we know who are living the single life and are loving it. And we like talking to them because they have perspectives about relationships that we think are important. And so we got 2 people on tonight that you have seen before, 2 people that we love very much. Yes. And I'm going to bring them on right now. I don't know what Jonathan's looking at, you know what I'm saying? But
what up, Jonathan and Claire?
So Jonathan and Claire are here. Jonathan Leonardo is our friend from back in the day. We have known him for, I don't know, I've known Jonathan since I was like maybe 14, something like that. I don't remember back in my high school days. He was not in high school with me. His sister was in high school with me. I thought he was much younger, but actually he's about to turn, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't believe what he told me. So it's nice having you. Jonathan is actually 6 hours difference from us. He's in Hawaii.
Yes.
And,
so we need to come visit.
We do need to come visit. I don't know why you haven't set that up yet. I don't care about the pandemic, man. Set it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's my bad.
It is your bad. You know what I'm saying? So how you doing, man?
Oh, God's good. The sun's out. I'm in Hawaii, and life couldn't be sweeter. Most of my days I spend in board shorts and T-shirts.
Wow.
Man,
nice.
That's dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, when is the sun not out there? I guess it rains sometimes.
Well, we're still on planet Earth, and so at night the sun is not out.
Okay, it's not out at night.
That's how that works, John.
Thank you, man. I forgot about that.
You forgot about that?
Oh, man. Claire.
What up, Claire?
Yeah.
What's up? Everybody knows
Claire.
Claire, our sister.
Yes, and she was just in the sun enjoying her vacation.
I really was.
So.
Yeah. Where'd you just come back from?
Cancun,
Mexico. How was that?
The day before me and my friend went, the day before we flew to Cancun, we got an email from the U.S. Embassy saying you should rethink flying to Mexico because of COVID-19.
What?
We were like, we've been waiting for this trip for 2 years. We're
We're
across the street from the airport. Our flight leaves in 6 hours.
Right. So whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. We were very safe. The place was very safe. We got COVID tested before we left. Everything's fine. We're both vaccinated. It was fine.
Yeah.
The weather was fantastic. We saw iguanas, so that's how hot it was. But
wow,
my goodness, man.
Not too uncomfortably hot, and everything was free and paid for. So
Well, there you go.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh wow, Erin says she is headed to Cancun tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, have fun.
Enjoy
that.
Yes.
Deidre says, "Hey to my single and fabulous family." She's the other 1/4, I guess. Of
exactly.
Normally there's 4 of y'all.
Yeah.
We only had 2 on today. Since the pandemic, I too have been bored and in shorts. That's what Brian said. So it ain't just you, man. And I don't actually know where Brian lives, but it ain't Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys. So let me just bring you up to speed on what the topic is tonight and why we wanted to even talk about it. So this past Friday, April and I did a podcast, and we discussed this picture. In fact, I don't have the picture by itself. I've got a picture with something else that I want to discuss tonight, too.
Okay.
It's a picture of a man being bottle fed by his woman. Okay? That's the picture. And I got another picture I want to show you in a second, so I'm going to show that all soon. Mm-hmm. When we talked about it on Friday, okay, look at Claire. What she got?
Claire, we about to show it.
When we talked about it on Friday, there were a lot of people in the comments. I mean, Chimes were going crazy over it, and several of them said, "Yo, we got to talk about this on the show." There's no way.
So we said the Chimes have spoken.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we have to
talk about this live.
So I was trying to figure out. There are a couple of things about it that Okay, so April and I talked about this profusely on the show. We went like 40 minutes on the episode. And
that was a good argument, by the way.
Yes, and y'all know our joke is normally like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're only like 20, but we just kept it going.
We couldn't stop.
We couldn't help it.
But then afterwards we kept talking about it. It was so much more. And then
We've
I saw
been talking about it all week. Baby.
We have. And then I saw this other picture. And this other picture, something dawned on me. Well, first of all, something already dawned on me about why it was that I have such a problem with the first picture.
The bottle feeding.
I have a real problem with the bottle feeding picture. I really struggle with that one.
Couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell by the episode. But then this other picture that I saw reminded me of another perspective. And then I realized in that moment that I think men have a caricature of what it's like to be in a long-term, a serious relationship with a woman. And I think women have a caricature of what it's like to be in a serious relationship with a man. And this is what I think it is. So the men one, of course, we already see. Women, I think that men want to be babied. And I think all men think that their individualism disappears and their ability to be in charge of anything or to have something for themselves disappears when they get with a woman because she's always in his plate. And that right there is just an example of, you know, I don't know, everything. Like, you know, they say it all the time. Women say, what's mine is mine, and what's his is mine. So what I want to know is, I want to know if I'm the only one that thinks that.
I definitely take my fork and put it in the plate. Ain't no doubt.
That's true.
But
that has nothing to do with right.
She's in my literal plate too. But what I'm saying is, it's a metaphor for
I'm in his
everything.
literal plate.
Yeah, but it's like you go from having something to all of a sudden not having anything, or having to share everything. But it doesn't feel like it's the other way around. It doesn't always feel like she.
And we didn't talk about this, so I want to know how you feel about that. But
and Horace said without asking. That's what I'm talking about, Horace. Without asking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. The plate thing, yes, that is true.
So anyway, here's what I want to know, because I think people. Well, first of all, let me ask you guys both a status question. Jonathan, are you currently in a serious relationship?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Since the last time I was on, I'm no longer single and ready to mingle.
Oh.
I actually am in a serious relationship.
Okay.
You're not joking? You're not serious?
All right, that's
I'm
good.
dead serious, but you didn't ask me to come on the show.
That's perfect. That's perfect though.
No, that's perfect.
That's exactly what we need then,
Exactly.
because if your status has changed in that way, then that gives us even more, I think, of an entree into your thought process on this. All right, Claire.
Oh, 100, because when one of those pictures came up, I certainly had some feelings strongly about one in ways I would not have had last time we were on the show.
Okay.
Let's talk.
Now, Claire, what about you? Are you in a serious relationship right now?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to just start by asking you, and then I'll go to Jonathan. Do either of those pictures give you any feeling whatsoever, and what feeling do you get as you look at those? And describe for me whether or not either of those pictures.
Do you feel there's any truth in any of those?
Thank you, baby.
In either of those
Thank
pictures?
you, baby. That's exactly what I want
Is there
to
any
ask you.
truth there?
For you,
Even if it's a little bit.
Yeah, Claire.
I think the bottle feeding picture, it didn't expose any thoughts that I didn't know I already had or didn't think I already had, but I think it's demonstrates to me, what I got from it was that people in relationships often look for healing, like childhood healing, from their partner.
Okay.
Speak
That's what I thought.
Speak
Okay.
it.
So I wasn't thinking men want to be babied. I was thinking there are men who haven't healed from certain things that their parents did to them, or their guardians or did to them, or didn't do to them. That
You immediately just went deep.
That they're searching for.
We were in the shallow end.
Exactly. We in the shallow end. She all in the deep end with the sharks.
That's what I saw. And also, just to be transparent, I've never been in a long-term relationship. All my relationships have been short.
Okay.
So I never even get to the point where anybody's gonna be doing anything with a bottle of any kind around me. Like, don't bring that around me. So just to let you know what my experience is. But that's what I saw. I saw an issue with emotional healing and looking in the wrong place to try to heal something that you haven't healed from.
So even
Yeah.
though you have not been, and we're gonna get to you, Jonathan, but even though you haven't been in a necessary like long-term relationship, Claire, would you say though, just looking at relationships, and because you've seen and been around a lot of people who have been in long-term friends who've been in long, have you seen that kind of thing though? Not necessarily bottle feeding. So we want to be able to see this at the extreme and at the, the lowest,
I have definitely seen men act like what I would call punks. That's what I would.
Okay.
But I feel like my learning and my experience has taught me that there's something behind that. Like it's never what you're seeing. There's always something else going on.
Right.
So it always makes me want to like ask questions or probe but of course I'm not the one in the relationship with that person. So
Right.
I'm not annoyed because I'm going home by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can understand that if I was in a relationship with someone who acted that way, and if that person was not willing to discuss anything or always brush me off if I tried to probe, that would bother me a lot.
Okay. So Jonathan, what about you? Tell. Well, first of all, which one of those two pictures is the one that made you feel a certain way?
Well, they both made me feel a certain way, but the one that was stronger was the one with the female reaching over into the plate, right?
Go ahead, put the picture up real quick.
And particularly, John, when you were talking about the loss of individuality, right? Like, because you feel that. Like, I'm not trying to have you reach over into my stuff. Like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. We can come together and be partners in life, right? But I'm not trying to have. Yeah, man, I don't need you reaching that hard, that quick, that fast, like being on top of my stuff. Like, nah, give me some space. And maybe that's a personality thing, but what Claire said rings way too true on the other picture. It's like, I ain't trying to marry my mama.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to be in a relationship with my mama. And maybe because you mentioned it earlier, John, I'm turning 40 years old.
I didn't say the 40.
I'm saying it. Right? I done thought through some things. I done been through some therapy. I done talked to Jesus. I done been through some healing.
Yeah.
And me and my mama's relationship, although it had its ups and its downs, it's in a nice resolved sort of place. And I'm not trying to marry my mama. So yeah, I think Claire was right on top. Like, for me personally, I'm not looking to be coddled. I'm not looking to be babied. Like, I want a partner in life that supports and that you could depend on, and that's going to be there when the going gets rough and whatnot. But that lie, I think, is a lie. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and when y'all correct me, I'll tell you that you're wrong.
Okay.
But the lie of the lie that we're going to find our sense of our sense of worth and our fulfillment in another person. This language of my better half.
We're not going to tell you you're wrong.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am my better half, because me and God is one, and we whole, we good. Like, God is in me, I'm good, right? So I get to partner with somebody. I'm not looking for somebody to baby me and coddle me. And yeah, that was a little bit like, ugh. And on the other picture, when I saw that picture with reaching over the plate, I was like, I ain't trying to marry my sister either. You know what I'm saying?
Put me all on your plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane.
So let me just say this real quick. What we actually teach is people cannot find fulfillment in other people. They find that in God. And you find a compliment. You find someone to balance sometimes. There are other things that a person can do for you, but they won't complete you.
Right.
Completion comes with God.
Right.
So when people try to get that from somebody else, they're always going to be disappointed. So we try to teach them, don't look for that in your relationships.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it means you could be a whole person without being attached to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
That picture with the dude getting coddled, the way Claire was talking about, I think just hits it right on the head, because it almost struck me as a picture of somebody seeking some therapeutic resolution. Right?
Emotional validation or something.
That just felt really sort of like it's really immature and unresolved in sort of deep and meaningful ways. And for anybody who's there, like, we're all on our own journey. However, another person isn't going to be that for us. Right. You got to settle that for you.
Very true. So what I want to know, though, is do you find any kind of, when April asked about truth, do you find any kind of truth for yourself in any of those pictures? Meaning, do you think that most men are looking for their woman to baby them in some way? Or do you think that's just kind of like, some men are like that, but not most of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we were doing the show, the Chimes was saying, I think most men are like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't agree.
But I don't think that it was most men are like that picture. I don't think that's what was said.
Okay.
I think what was really the whole thing was the idea that deep down there are men who want you to be I don't want to say be their mother, but mother them in some type of way based on the way that they act. Not necessarily
to nurture them.
And see, that's what I'm saying. To me, that's different, right? I think
Did
men
you say what?
do. He said to nurture them.
No, and that's not what we're talking about.
Right, because I think men do like the idea of being nurtured by their woman. I think that's nice.
But is there
a
limit to that? In that you could want, like, who said it? Go back, because I saw somebody say something. Akua, I saw a man who can't or doesn't want to do anything around the house but what he wants to do. And so it's kind of like, it's all okay. Let's put it this way. I think what really some women, see is this idea that you want the kind of mother who...
Your kind of
woman who is a mother, the type of mother who would spoil their child, and this child don't have to do nothing. Everything is done for you. You see what I'm saying? So not a mother like telling you what to do necessarily, even though we do see some women who act like that.
You don't think men want that? What men
I don't think men want that.
You want me
they
to
don't want like a mother who nags and telling them what they need to do.
Right.
But one who will, some men, I'm not saying everybody, I'm talking about the way sometimes it looks, they want everything done for them.
Right. Why are you touching me like that?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
I'm
you.
just
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
This just sounds like a conversation about perception. So,
Okay.
I think some men literally don't care that their clothes are on the floor. It doesn't bother them.
Right.
But for a woman, it bothers her. So she may interpret that as, you want me to pick up your clothes for you. And he's really just saying, I don't even see the clothes because I don't care.
Now, now, let me tell you, I have seen couples where the man gets upset at the woman because she didn't pick up his clothes.
Well, that's different.
Right. That's different.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it looks like what you want, as Jennifer Lopez says, I ain't your mama. So it makes you respond that way when, here's this man, his clothes on the floor, or it's time to travel and he's upset because you didn't pack his bag.
Right.
I'm saying it's like, when you say it like that, it's like, that's what I want to know. When that is said, do you think that it is wrong for a man, and Chimes can chime on in as they do, for a man to want his wife to pack his bag? Like when you hear that, some women are like, what? Like I already know the friends that are going to screw up their face.
Some women are like, oh, I love that.
I don't know many.
Okay, but
I'm just saying.
You know at least one or two.
I know at least one or two.
Yeah.
But once, and I don't know if they, well, whatever. Pack your bag, pick up your clothes. So talk to me about that. Is that wanting a mother?
What strikes me is, if I could say, to put verbiage for like what I'm feeling in light of the pictures and conversation, is that there is a dependency on the partner at the expense of the partner, right?
Okay.
So in the first video, in the first image, actually the one where the dude is being coddled, you could
this one.
The one with the dude being coddled. Now the caption says this is how men want to be treated behind closed doors, right? But there's also scenarios where there is a woman wants to treat the man that way, right?
That's true.
And they have a dependence on that sort of interaction, maybe at the expense of their partner, maybe at the expense of the partner's masculinity, if I could use that sort of terminology. Don't want to get too hemmed up about that, right? But at the expense, just because that's something I need, right? Like I need this for me to be okay. Or on the other end, where I got a whole plate of food, but I need to know that you're gonna be willing to give me yours first, so that I'm okay, because I know that you're taking care of me. So there's this dependence on the partner at the expense of the partner. And here's what happens. You're only as good as that situation is going, because without it, then you're not okay. Right. And that goes back to the thing of like, yo, if you're going to come into a relationship, you got to come into a relationship offering something. You got to be whole. You can't be coming in expecting these sort of exchanges and coddling and nurture. I'm going to be all up in your plate. And if it doesn't go down that way, then you're not okay. Like that's when we stay friends. Like, right. So this dependency at the expense of one another, it seems to me the lie that unifies both of these images. It's like, yo, you got to be okay.
Right.
Like, no, you can't have none of my chicken.
Look, Cynthia said it tastes different from your plate.
It does. Look what Deidre said.
Yo, I agree, Cynthia. It always tastes better when it's stolen.
Deidre said, I can't understand for the life of me why men are so triggered when we take a bite from their plate. Literally, it baffles me. I'm really tuning in to gain some knowledge here because I don't get it. So here's the thing. This is the thing. I used to actually get a little bit upset when April would eat from my plate when we first got married. It was when we were dating.
And I always leave the rest of my food for John.
That's true.
So he always gets the rest of my food.
But now for some reason I like it. And I don't know what happened, but for some reason it feels almost like maybe I feel good about the fact that she thinks I arranged my plate in a certain way, or maybe whatever I ordered from the restaurant, maybe she thought I did a good job ordering and she just had to taste it. For some reason now I don't get mad about it. But at first I used to, and I don't know what the even reason was. You know what I'm saying? I'd just be like, yo, why are you in my plate? Why? Listen, especially if we both ordered the same exact thing for the restaurant, why are you tasting mine and you have that?
I don't do that.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes.
I do not eat from your plate when we order the
Who
same
orders
thing.
the same thing when you go to? That's a red flag.
Well, that's right.
Exactly.
Well, the reason why
Man,
I don't order the same thing is because of that. I'm like, okay, she ordered that, I'm gonna order something different.
But I would never eat from your plate if I ordered the same thing.
Not true.
That is a lie.
Anyway, Jonathan, what were you
going
gonna
to
say?
Finishing my food.
No, that was going to be my question. Is she picking from your plate when you have the same items, or is it
No.
different items?
Most of the time,
that.
because when we go somewhere, if she ordered one thing, I'm ordering something totally different on purpose, and really, honestly, it's because I always know she can't finish it, so she's gonna give me the rest of hers. So I know if she orders something different from me, I get to taste that too. So I guess maybe that's why I don't care anymore. Because now I know we have like a little partnership on that. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk, that image that you showed me, my whole philosophy and insight and deep thinking on it was they had the same food on that joint. So they had the same food, and she trying to eat mine first. I'm like, yo, if you trying to eat my food, you got the same food. That's some unresolved childhood
No, let me look real quick. Does she have the same food?
Oh,
It looks like the same. It looks like the same exact thing.
It look the same to me.
It looks like the same thing, man. I never even picked that up, John.
Omarion right there is not feeling good about himself. That's Omarion, isn't it?
I guess. I don't even know who it was.
I think I look like Omarion. He looked upset.
But I didn't even notice there was the same plate.
This is the whole point, though. If we look at it bigger, outside of just the plates there, she would be taking from him and keeping her stuff too.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's the essence of that. The essence of that is.
So, but do you guys feel that way?
I get to share
women,
your
though?
stuff with me, but I get to keep it. Do you feel that way about women?
That's the whole point. Do y'all feel like women are like that? Like we come in wanting, but not trying to give our stuff? And I don't think so. I don't think men automatically think like that.
I think a lot of men do think that way. And I'll say this. I'll say this. Before we actually got married, I thought that it was going to be like that in our relationship.
No, you didn't.
I did. But I'm talking about early on. It was an assumption that I made based on this caricature. I think it's something that we understand as men, and we try to just accept it because we think that's what marriage actually is. We think marriage is... Seriously.
Okay.
We think marriage is what's yours is yours and what's mine is yours. That's how we think about it. We're like, well, the sooner we can come to grips with that, then we're ready for marriage.
Wow. Like you're about to... So it's
encroachment.
Kind of about to give up...
Yeah.
Your side.
You give up your individuality. You lose all of the things you could do by yourself, and all. That's how you think of it before you get married.
Listen, the other day I was at church with my girl. We went to church, and we went to a church that I know a lot of folks there. I go visit from time to time. It was her first time there, and she's by my side. And as we head through the foyer, like I had to go use the bathroom, and we have a mutual friend with us. And I look at my girl and I say, "Yo, Tiffany, I just got to go use the bathroom. I'm gonna leave you here with so-and-so." And I was literally handing her off to somebody else as a chaperone, right?
Wow.
Yo, right. Right. Like, the next day, dog, she sits me down and she's like, "John,
don't ever do that again."
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
100%. She says,
I am a whole grown woman. Okay.
She said,
Oh,
100%. She's like, I'm a grown woman. Like, I'm good. You don't need to hand me off like some sort of, thing.
I like that she did that.
100. And so then I start thinking, and I was like, dang, why did I do that? And real talk, you know why I did that? Because I was believing that lie that she was going to encroach on my individuality and that like she was my responsibility in that moment.
Wow.
And that she was like, I was no longer just me. It was now me, and I had to take care of this person in these ways. And that came out in me trying to be, be a caring, thoughtful partner, and like, hey, I'm gonna just go so you don't feel uncomfortable. It's like, hey, you don't need to do that for me. Like, I'm good. So whatever it is that you're doing, that's on you, because you got some whack perception that you're working on. Go ahead and settle that, and let's not do that again.
So that's good,
I was
because
thinking that.
But I want to know if every woman would respond like that. Claire, would you want to say that to your man afterward if he did what Jonathan did, or would you think
like,
that was
so
chivalrous?
Sweet.
That was
Right.
nice.
I feel like you chose the wrong panelist for this.
Why?
Because I feel the way you guys are saying men feel about marriage. I don't want to lose my individuality.
No, but you know what, Claire?
That's perfect. That's why we have you on here. You know what I'm saying?
Several women, I think, are feeling like that now. I don't think it's just you. I feel like it is
probably-
today's woman. I
Right.
do believe that.
Yeah.
Like that and emotional safety are the two biggest barriers for me getting into serious relationships.
Okay.
Like I really want my stuff to be my stuff and your stuff to be your stuff. I really don't want any of us. Like, can we be together and separate at the same time? That's what I want.
So
unpack
explain
that.
that. Unpack that. Why is that?
Right.
What has gotten you to this point? Because have you always thought that way, or did something cause you to get to that point where you're like, you know what? I don't think I want to do that.
The answer is yes. Something. I don't know if I can answer this safely.
Okay.
Well, you ain't got to,
Listen, it's just
Say
us.
what you
It's just,
say.
it's just us in the chimes. You know what I'm
But
saying?
so like you said at the beginning, there are a lot of relationships that I've observed over my life, and healthy relationships, good relationships. I don't know if I've observed, like, very few relationships that I've observed were unhealthy. Most of them have been really, really good, healthy relationships.
Okay.
Even in those healthy relationships, though, I often see someone disappearing in the relationship, whether it's the man or the woman.
Wow.
And I have like violent reactions to that. Like, I don't like that. And so for me, the subconscious thing, well, it's not even subconscious, it's conscious now. But the thing that I've always thought is someone's going to lose something. And if the something is themselves, I don't want that. So I like the idea of the beginnings of a relationship before things really get serious, before any of the losing starts. And usually that's where I'm like, all right, well, it's been
I'm good.
Wow.
it's
Wow.
fine, and I'm out because I haven't seen modeled the kind of relationship that I want for myself.
So let me
never
ask you. So let me ask you a question then. Are you saying that you don't think it's possible, even in a healthy relationship, for at least one person to just be lost in the relationship? You don't think it's possible?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I haven't seen it.
Okay.
My prayer is that it is possible, and I recognize that I have to demonstrate intellectual humility, which means I have very little personal data on this. You know, I've dated around, but like I said, I've never had a serious long-term relationship, so I don't even know what it is I really fully want, because I don't know fully what I'm gonna be like in a full long-term relationship. Like, I don't even know if that would happen to me. I don't know if I would be the one taking too much from the other. Like, I don't know. I don't
So
have
explain
the data that I
again.
want.
Explain again what you said you feel like would look like the perfect relationship. Not perfect, but you know what I'm saying. Not perfect, but the kind of relationship you would say, yes, that's what I would do.
So I want there to be I think Jonathan talked about this before. I want there to be a mutual understanding and acceptance of these things are my things and those things are your things. And then we can also have other things that we do together.
And
So
when
I
you say that,
I see three categories in my mind, really. I see a space where I can, because I say this all the time. I'm very much an introvert. So I enjoy isolation a lot. Like, I really, really
you said
like it.
you said isolation. You didn't even say alone time. You said isolation.
No, it's because it's isolation. Isolation.
Like if you were in prison, you'd want to be in the what do they call it?
Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement.
Like you will beat somebody else so you could get there.
I really like it. And so for me, being in a serious relationship means my isolation goes away. And
wow,
so
Claire.
my decision to always leave a relationship before it gets too far says to me, I value my isolation more than I value whatever it is that we could potentially have together.
Wow.
I value my isolation more.
Wow.
Now, whether or not that's healthy or not, that's another podcast.
Right.
That's
not
another live.
I'm just saying that's where I am. I've discovered about myself that's why I'm always the one leaving at a certain point, is because I feel like my time, like too much of my time is being with you. I need more of this back. So let me just take it all back. Basically.
Wow.
So Horace is asking, is it possible to be an individual and one as a couple?
I mean, I definitely think so. I think you should be able to be an individual and be able to be one with someone and still have your individuality. I mean, I should be able to be who I am, to be able to enjoy the things I like to enjoy, even if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And feel like you accept me for who I am and those things that I like, even though that may not be something that is, that you are into. And feel like I can come back to you and enjoy you and our oneness as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that sometimes, though, Claire, people do get in relationships and end up losing that individuality. They end up, I feel like it's kind of like you're being sucked into their life and then that's it for yours.
And then it also happens, it's like stealthily. It doesn't, you don't realize it's happening until it's happened.
That is so true. It is so stealth.
So I'm like, all right, well.
It is stealthily done,
but
yes.
I definitely think, put Deidre's comment up there, please.
This one right here? The food one?
No.
Or the most recent one?
The most recent one.
Let me see. Everyone else, no man is an island. Claire,
want to bet?
So sounds like what you're saying, Claire, is for you, at least on the front end, because like you said, you don't have the long-term data from being in a long-term relationship, so you're not even sure if this is what you want for real, but what you think you want is the ability to say, my alone time still exists in this relationship. That just because we're together doesn't mean that goes away. So wouldn't it just be finding another introvert?
No, because we talked about balance earlier, and for me, well, okay, maybe another introvert, but not someone as introverted as I am. Because to me, that's not balanced.
Right.
Because I
Y'all just wouldn't be together.
Right.
Y'all just would never be together.
I recognize that I'm way right. Like
right.
I'm very introverted, and I like that about myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't always have the language for what it was about my personality as a kid, but like once I learned about the word introvert, I was like, oh yes, absolutely, and it made me like myself more. It didn't make me like myself less. Like, I really enjoy it about myself, but I also recognize that there are other experiences that someone else of another personality type can help guide me through. And to me, that's exciting too.
Yeah.
As long as I also get what I know feeds me. And isolation feeds me. Like, isolation helps me.
Yeah, to be able to go back out.
Be the kind of person that someone wants to date.
Right.
Yes.
You need
that.
You need that. Of course. You need that time.
It's so necessary.
Yes.
And I think for me, I feel like it's been difficult finding someone who understands that 5 minutes is not enough. Like, sometimes I need a day to recover from whatever just happened.
Right.
With a bunch of people.
Naomi said, yes, it makes me a better wife and mom. You are so right.
Yeah, like I
You can be your best self if you get that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Jonathan, are you an extrovert or introvert?
Nah, I'm an introvert who plays an extrovert in real life.
You just play it. Okay, you're an actor.
Yeah. No, I'm dead up. Everything Claire's saying, like, I'm in full agreement with her. Because
you're
my introverted self, I can go 2-3 days 100% in my house, locked up with YouTube and books, and be the happiest clam in the world. And so, yeah, the intrusion of having a partner who might take away from that is, you feel a sense of the loss of individuality. Like right now, the person I'm with is also introverted, but like ambivert, right? She has these extroverted explosions. And every once in a while, it's just like, wait, hold up, back it up, Terry, right? Like, nah. Right. And it's spot on. Like I'm hearing Claire, and there's a lot of echoes, and it's a lot of commonality, at least in my brain, that then you feel like I feel a certain version of myself emerging that I didn't even know. Right. And at 40 years old, I'm 39, and I'm in this committed relationship, and I feel like a version of myself emerging that I didn't know. Wow. And there really is a place of me grieving the loss of a certain aspect of me that can't continue to flourish or be if I'm gonna be in a committed relationship. And one of the ways is that I'm a highly independent dude, right? Like a lot of my friends know that one of the questions they ask me first when they get in touch is not how are you, but where are you? Right.
Yeah, because as we were trying to get we were like, where's Jonathan?
I said, where you at? Where you at, right? Because you know that one day I'm like in Hawaii, the next day I'm in, Montana or something. Right. And like recognizing that like I can't do that. I can't do that in the same way, right? And that's the way I've lived my life from young adulthood to now for the past 20 years, I love spending 5-6 hours going down the rabbit hole of pursuing something I want to pursue intellectually or otherwise, that if I'm with a partner, I can't do in the same way. And not that I can't do for 6 hours. I probably can do for 6 hours, but now I have to accommodate that 6 hours might be scheduled in, or I have to then do this other thing later for the sake of the relationship. So it doesn't mean I don't have my isolation time. It just doesn't come with the same sort of circumstances. So there's a loss of individuality for me that I sense and I feel, and I'm welcoming it because it's like, I'm old enough, but I still I think that there's a grieving process of it. And if we go back to the pictures, like the one with the plate, with the food in the plate, like, bro, that strikes at that place of, I think that line of like, this is me, this is you, we can be together, but you don't have to be me, I don't have to be you, let's not cross over. Yeah. And yet, when you come into a relationship, there has to be some certain relinquishings of your personal priorities for the sake of coming together, right?
Right.
And that right there, as I'm listening to Claire and as I'm thinking about it, there is this grieving process that I think even I'm experiencing just as a natural consequence of being in a committed relationship at this point in my life. You and April and John, y'all don't know nothing about that because y'all got married when you were like 6. Right. Y'all became 16, one. Right. The rest of us grown behind folk that are like settled in our ways. It's different.
So I love this conversation though, because it brings, I think, a different perspective that a lot of people who are single definitely agree with. But now, even ones who are married, we got a bunch of married folks on here, like yelling, "Yo, this was me." You know what I'm saying? Like, So the same kind of thing. And so I'm wondering, because these people I know are happily married. You know what I'm saying?
Already talking about out the womb.
Yeah. Out the womb, just like that. So what I want to know though is, when you guys grapple with those things, is that where you're at? Do you feel like when it really comes down to it, I'm basically answering this question: do I value my individuality more than my togetherness with somebody else? Or should I say this way, is it possible for me to be together with this person without sacrificing my individuality? Is that the question you're basically asking yourself when you're deciding whether or not to be in a relationship with somebody that's committed for a period of time?
The question I ask myself is more about timing and the other things that I'm dealing with in other parts of my life. Okay. Right now, I know I don't have the emotional space to add somebody new in. I know I don't have that, but there have been other times in my life where I did have the emotional space, but it's just the circumstances that are in my life right now. I know I can't do that. So I'm not even touching dating. I'm not looking at it. I'm not, even though like I'm not against dating, but for me right now, I know I can't do that. It's not going to be.
So you're not going to sign up for the speed dating joint that's coming up?
No speed dating.
I wouldn't do that anyway. Like, whoever wants to do it, 60 seconds?
That's
Yeah,
you.
what you gonna do
That's
60
what I'm saying.
seconds?
You are an introvert.
Exactly,
You're not
that's
trying
why.
to do
I
that.
hate 60 seconds conversation are pointless to me. Like, what are you talking
Right.
about?
Oh, well, I'll show you
It's
the video in a
ridiculous.
second. You'll be able to see.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, go to the speed dating. What's the link? Go use
Link. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was right here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Go to
register
that.
for that.
Go to
joint. You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right now.
Bro, the kryptonite of an introvert is small talk.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
I will say I get so. Oh my goodness. Even now, I cannot stand when I'm like just me and another person, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, what?
What are we gonna
say?
talk about?
This is so cringy. Okay, so yeah.
I think I know that because I've been tracking. This is going to sound strange. I've been tracking my growth over the last few years, and I know that there's going to come a time when I'm going to be ready and it's going to work. It's not right now, though. It's not. Like there's a couple of really big things that I really want to devote all of my time, all my attention to. I really want to. And so for me, yes, I guess, yeah, I'm choosing to prioritize these couple of things because they're such big things that I know will affect my relationship. I want to deal with them outside of a relationship rather than in a relationship because I feel like it's a little easier that way. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel. But I also feel myself moving closer and closer pretty quickly to a place where I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going back in because I've been out of dating for about 5 years now.
Wow.
Intentionally out of it, or maybe 4. And I feel myself like I'm really, really close to being to the point where I'm like, all right, let's try this again. But I'm not there yet. I'm just not. So.
I want to take this comment real
yes,
quick.
please take that comment.
This is Akua. Sometimes I don't want to get married because I have trained my kids to be self-sufficient, and I can't see myself going backwards with a husband who can't work with me on house stuff. My friends say finding one who can is a low probability.
I'm going to just start talking on this one because I think that is another part of this for, Akua, a single woman who, like she said, she has trained her kids to be self-sufficient. And, I feel like this is what some women have issues with. Like, I'm going to have to be doing everything. I think this is just, and that goes back to the mother thing. No, it's not about the feeding. It's not really a baby feeding him a bottle. That was just a metaphor of what this whole thing. Like I have to do everything, and you can kind of choose what you want to do. Almost like you can be an individual and choose the way you want to live your life, but there are things that not I can do. There are things that I have to do. Like, and if I don't do it, it won't get done. You know what I'm saying? And I think women, and I'm speaking as if I'm one of those women, and I'm not. I have a man who is very,
I'm one of the low probability.
He is.
Fine.
But I speak like this because I see it so much in my own close friends and, some of my close friends that I see this happening. And I'm just like, how is it okay? And she's not okay with it. So it's not like, if I see it and you okay with it, boo, do you. You and your man, that's how y'all want to work it. I have no problem with that. And so it's like, I feel like for some women, they don't even want to get into relationships like that and end up getting married because they're not trying to be the one who ends up.
I'm a high value man. And Akua's agreeing with you right now.
Yes. So what do you do about that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So.
And why is that the case? That's really the question. Why is it that
we talk about that all the time?
And the fact that it's low why is that? Because of the way that society has placed women and the way society has placed men.
100%.
Okay.
And people are just sleepwalking through their lives. They're not actually thinking about it. They're just doing what is done, and that's what they do. That's what I think.
And so
the moment they're challenged on it, I think they start thinking about it differently. And the moment that they realize that they could lose their relationship because they're not serious about it, then men start getting serious about it. That's my opinion.
This is why the Bible says in Romans, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because the way you think about things affects literally everything that you do.
Correct. Everything.
Yeah.
And what you're exposed to affects the the highways that you formed in your brain. So if I'm constantly bombarded by images of stereotypical women and stereotypical men, that's reality for me.
Right.
And I have to break myself free from that. That takes years though. Like if you start thinking about the way that you think when you're 35, you have 35 years of experience where you weren't doing that.
Right.
So how many more years is it going to take you to to break those?
You can unbreak them.
You can unbreak stuff. You know what, Courtney? Girl, that is it. Blame it on the helicopter moms. You know, seriously, we talked about this, but helicopter moms really can ruin their sons in a way that is different. But that's a whole nother live.
Okay, so go ahead, Jonathan.
My man Bryant right there with that comment.
He said, men like to be challenged, not changed. We enjoy an independent thinking woman, not an independent doing woman.
Yeah, maybe
What does that
not
mean?
to the last part, because I'm all about an independent doing woman too.
Okay.
But I go back to this individuality thing, right? Claire, you were touching on earlier, and we're thinking about with that image of the dude getting nurtured. I know, prickly old me, almost 40-year-old me, set my ways. I'm not trying to have a female come into my space and tell me how to fold my clothes. I do my own laundry. I've been doing this since I was 10.
Right.
I want you to don't fold my clothes. I fold them a certain way. I wash things a certain way.
I
don't want you to do my dishes.
I don't mind.
Don't do
you
that,
folding my
John.
clothes. Okay, go ahead. I just want to make sure he's not. Jonathan's not.
You hear that, babe?
I wash my dishes a certain way. I put my
I'm definitely like that,
in a certain way. Like I got like all of this. But here's the thing is that it's that level of, for me, that hyper independence and being settled on all of those things is like, how do I actually partner and relinquish some of these things that don't matter as much and retain my individuality while at the same time cooperating in a relationship where we both are bringing something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to never fall into the trap of like, I'm not trying to marry my mother or my sister. I don't want to be coddled, and I don't want to just be your buddy. And we're actually coming into something. We're both individuals. We come to create the thing. And in what places and in what spaces can I say, and this is me talking about like that hyper individual thing, right? The hyper individual thing. In what places and what spaces can I say, all right, this here thing does not determine who I am. Right. So like, I can let you step in a certain way, while at the same time requiring that from somebody else. Like, you can do your own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
so here's what I think the key is. This is me personally. I think it has to do with the difference between being an individual and the selfishness that normally accompanies individualism.
Speak
So
it.
I feel
That's
like
it.
I feel like if we're trying to be in a
Yes.
relationship with somebody and we're still kind of holding on to individualism, I don't think it's possible to really have what you need. But I don't think, which what Claire was saying earlier, I don't think that when I join with April, I lose myself. I don't think when April joins with me, she loses. All of a sudden, we don't know where April is. She's absorbed into me. That's not how it should be. I actually think the best relationships are ones where when the two come together, they create something new that wasn't there before. It's not that they lose themselves.
Right.
It's that the two of them together create some new thing. What that requires, though, Jonathan, is that we both have to learn how to give up stuff. I can't have everything my way if we're going to create a new individual. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's just me.
Right.
It's you gave up your stuff. I kept all my stuff, and now we look like me.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, that's the relationship I wanted for a long time.
That's what most people want.
I just been selfish for a whole long time, a long time.
I'm saying I think all of us are selfish in some ways.
Of course,
But I think that when we go into a relationship, if we're trying to hold on to who we are, while at the same time letting go of, like you just said, Jonathan, some of the stuff is really not that important, man. I mean, when it really comes down to it, I do like my dishes washed a certain way. But that's literally nothing. I mean, that's like less than nothing.
Yeah.
Like, why are we even talking about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, but let's be real. On some, there's been moments in relationships, because I've had a couple long-term ones, where that thing can become everything because
Oh,
I think it's an encroachment on you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it's not about the dishes.
Right.
Right.
It's about now you're coming and taking away
Yes.
especially when it's done in a critical way. I think
Yes.
that's when you're being criticized for the way that you do it, because it's not like me, the way I do it. I don't think it's not about the dishes. You know, it's about the fact that you're criticizing me for who I am and who I've been all this time, and you know, there's nothing wrong with me, kind of like that. So you are right about that.
Yeah, so
But-
I think what we're saying is
Yeah.
that there are many unhealthy relationships out there where it's so lopsided and one-sided that one person literally just gets absorbed by the other one.
Exactly.
And
It happens so much.
it does. And
And
avoiding
like Claire
that is
says,
probably hard.
It happens so, what you say, stealthily?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Yeah, it's under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you
did
don't
say
even
unbreak.
realize it.
She did also say
unbreak.
unbreak. That's
That's
true.
why I had to ask that.
This is not always
Let
right.
me make it worse. But, you know, like, the fact that can even happen, you don't even realize that's happening. And then what happens is, after you've been in that relationship for several years, and you say, hold up, I've lost myself. And then there's a battle because now, after all these years,
I'm trying
you're
to fight to
saying-
get myself back.
You're saying, hold up, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
And then it's like, what? You've been
Yeah.
doing all this time.
Right.
Then there's a huge, you know, that's really what I think happens. People
In a lot of
end up
relationships.
realizing, wow, I've been in this relationship for 10 years and I don't even know who I am. That's a
Yo,
problem.
in right there, in light of that, I just want to say something publicly. Claire, I commend you publicly for just being able to stand and say, like, yo, I'm not ready for this thing right here, right now. I want to do these other things. And, you know, because so often we might say, oh, well, I'm wide open, see what happens. And we might give ourselves to something that we weren't ready for. And then it's worse off later than had we stuck to our guns earlier. So, like, that's really commendable on your part to be able to name it, see it, and just stand on it and just move in that direction. So I think that's really dope.
So to be transparent, I figured it out the first time I tried dating. That's why I figured it out.
That's how you
I
find
went
out.
into it gung-ho, and then when I was like, oh, is this what this is? I'm not ready for that. It's too much.
It's too
So then I
much.
went back to the drawing board. I was like, okay, let me do this differently this time.
So we only have a couple minutes. We got to go. So I want to ask you both one question. What advice would you give somebody else? So I'll start with you, Claire, specifically on that subject right there. There's somebody out there right now who is single, who is considering going back into the dating pool or whatever, and maybe they're not sure. And I don't know if people have the same courage, because, you know, Jonathan just commended you for it, so it must be something. Maybe they're not sure that they're ready to get into it or not, but maybe there's too much pressure, and the pressure says do it anyway. What would you say to that person about how they can sort of be true to themselves in that situation and not go after something just because other people are saying to do it? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how to answer that. That's a really good question.
I know John put you on the spot.
That's a really good question, though. Like I can only say what my experience is, but unfortunately, my experience has been led by my introversion. And for me, I'm always analyzing things. I'm always looking for data. I'm always like, so when I was dating before, a lot of it was I just need information. I had a lot of questions, and when you have questions, you do research.
So you're dating with research? Is that what you're saying?
It was.
Wow. Okay.
You use them?
So
My data points.
Yeah.
I guess I would say if you're at the place where you need information, don't string people along and
Okay.
act like you're doing something that you're not really doing.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
honest, I guess, and be
Yeah.
kind with your honesty, because there's a person with feelings on the other side of your honesty, and the things that you say and do will affect how that person treats the next person. So
That's true.
don't jack up other people just because
In the name of research.
you're in the middle of research. You still have to be kind and nice to people.
Yeah.
You're searching for answers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, that's my answer to your question.
Okay. So Jonathan, yours is a little bit akin to what you're going through right now, and that is now that you are in a serious relationship, and you're clearly battling with this thing of individualism, or being an individual, not losing yourself and all that kind of stuff. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to be in a relationship but doesn't want to lose themselves? How would they go about doing something like that?
I could probably speak from the only experience I have is that the last 9 years of my life, last 8 years of my life have been a lot of personal growth. And that's probably, that happens in your 30s where, you're doing a lot of reckoning with the early trauma. You're doing a lot of reckoning with what people the expectations that people put on you and then emerging. So yeah, mine would be like, man, just do that work for yourself, right? Like, just as a quick summary, one of the turning points for me was, when I turned 30 and I listened to Brene Brown and she spoke on vulnerability.
Love her.
And when I understood that vulnerability was the measure to actually live a connected, authentic, courageous life, I was like, all right, man, well, I want the willingness to be vulnerable. But the willingness to be vulnerable does not come from a place of you just overexposing yourself or committing to every single opportunity just to try it out, right? Brene Brown explains that vulnerability is actually underwritten by one thing and one thing alone. This is fantastic. And I think maybe I shared this last time because it's pivotal for me in my life. Only one thing and one thing alone underwrites vulnerability. And it's this: knowing that you're worthy of love.
Yeah.
And so I think the strongest thing for me is entering into a relationship is knowing that you're worthy of love, and not the love that you expect to form with this person, but the love that's already given to you because you're a child of the Creator.
Right.
And if you can walk into something knowing that you're worthy of love, that's what the cross is about, that it reveals my worth and value, that then I can step into something, offer something, bring something, and I'm willing to give up my independent quirks and selfishness because at the end of the day, they're not the sum total of me. The sum total of me is that worthiness that has been loved perfectly so that I can actually have something to give.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, people
That's
are agreeing
great.
with you, man.
Yes, this
they're
is
saying,
wisdom.
Preach, Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? John is wise beyond his years. I don't think they heard you say earlier you're turning 40. Though.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
I'm almost as old as John. I just look better.
You just dye your beard. Just kidding.
Yo, that's why I got that high def camera, dog.
Brian said, I hope y'all have extra mics or a warranty because Jonathan and Claire are dropping them all over the place.
Listen, y'all did drop some
Y'all
wisdom,
did. Thank you for being on here tonight.
thank
As
you
usual,
so
we love
much.
you guys.
Thank you so much.
You know
Love
what I'm
y'all.
saying?
Love y'all
And,
so
and
much.
I know a 6-hour difference there, and you're involved in some stuff. It's only
I gotta run.
What, 4 o'clock there now? 4:08, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
like the
I'm
next
sure.
thing you're supposed to do. I think at your
So
thing,
thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, Claire.
And
pleasure,
you're
guys.
gonna get us to Hawaii,
It's actually
right?
10 o'clock where you are.
When you
Claire.
gonna tell us?
Yeah.
When you gonna
Right.
have us? Okay. So I'm telling Jonathan he got to hook up, so we can get
Make
to
it
Hawaii.
happen, man.
Make it
You know
happen.
what I'm saying? It's taking you so long. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next
right,
time. Love you guys.
Bye.
All right, so clearly there is no Team John or Team April today, but we are going to put this up anyway because the reality is this is how we end the show. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And you really should go onto to the merch store, and you need to go ahead and get a I am Team April.
You know what?
Okay.
We actually just I
Team
forgot.
Claire and Jonathan.
I
Exactly.
forgot that we have on the merch store now, merch at justjohnandapril.com. We actually have merch.justjohnandapril.com, right? It's not at.
I forgot, babe.
Hold on.
Merch. We need to.
Anyway, whatever it is, the point is
What is our
we
stuff?
actually have a 10% offer code now.
We do, guys.
You can put Chimes 10 in at checkout, and you will get 10% off
Ooh,
of anything, whatever it is.
Team April.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a couple of Team Aprils. Yay!
So yeah, we want to see y'all wearing your shirt sometime. I'm saying
Yes,
Team
some
Nixon.
Team merch.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
merch.justjohnandapril.com.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yes. And so go ahead and put the promo code up there.
Hey, Shan said Team John for that beard dyeing joke.
That was a good joke. That was good.
Donnell, Team Nixon. Yeah. Naomi talking about I have to be vote Team April for her hair.
Oh,
Love it.
Thanks.
Please don't be mad if I have this look in a few weeks.
Go ahead,
I was just
girl.
on Pinterest trying to find my summer look. That's
Yes.
what it is. Hey, you're going to look good with it too. Team April and that hair is fire.
Thank you.
Yeah. Put that up there right now. Chimes 10 is the
10,
code at
guys.
checkout when you go to the merch store.
Yes.
And you can get 10% off of anything there. Donnell talking about Team April for the hair. Now,
Thank you,
I
Don.
understand he just said Team Nixon. You know what I'm saying? Now he's Team April
That's
all the
okay.
time.
You know,
what I'm saying?
he can always change.
Of course he can.
You know?
He gonna
That
switch
is
to
not-
you. You
Listen.
you always like that. Oh man.
So,
we enjoyed you guys tonight, man. That was
singles, we really want you to be a part of this 60-second dating online thing. What is it called? Speed dating?
Yes.
So we want you to go ahead and join and register at linkdatingapp.com.
Yep.
And go ahead and join because this is, let me go ahead and Link is a virtual speed dating social interaction app that allows users to go on 60-second video interactions with people in their local region or around the world. I think this is really cool. 60 seconds, you can kind of, it's just, to me, it's like fun.
Yes.
You don't know them, who cares?
Right.
It's fun, have a good time.
Yeah.
So go ahead and register now. It's on the 27th, June 27th. So you want to make sure you go ahead and register so you can be in that number. Go ahead and sign up.
Hey. Lady J said she signed up
Yay,
already. You know what I'm
Lady
saying?
J.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what
So
I'm saying?
you're going to have to come back on, Lady J, and tell us how it went. Okay?
You know what? That's a great. Now
We should have a group of people to come on
we
and tell
should.
us.
We should. I have no idea. Though, Lady J, whoever else in the chimes, if you're
Akua,
willing
if you
to
do
come
it.
on, if you're willing to do it and then come on the show and tell us how it was,
We would love
That would be great.
That would be great.
that really would. You know what I'm saying?
Deidre, are you gonna go to
Deidre, you do it too. By the way, she said the
sign
topic was
up?
deeper than she thought it would be.
Wow.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
And now
I'm
part of
glad
it though,
you enjoyed
let's be 100. Seriously?
Yes.
Part
What
of the
is
reason
it?
why is because we had two deep guests.
Those are deep guests.
Claire and
I mean,
Jonathan-
look, they went in deep.
Claire went in right away.
immediately. Like we were
No,
ready
she-
to just be like,
I was trying to get in the shallow end real
Look,
quick.
we were
She
going
just
in the
dove
shot.
in
We were
from the high
going to
dive.
ease into the deep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went in. So
So I'm saying that had a lot to do with
okay.
it.
So Lady J said she would do
She said
it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
so
good. Yeah, so make sure y'all sign up and let us know how it is. You know what I'm saying? I've done speed dating. It was fun. Okay.
Oh.
Anatoly. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
See, guys?
But I see you with in a picture with somebody else right now. So maybe you can't speed date now.
So-
you know what I'm saying? But
Sean said you must be single.
that's true. You do have to be single.
No,
Thank
he's
you very
not
much.
asking. He's
No.
telling.
He's telling us.
With exclamation
Make sure
points.
you are single if you're going to do this. We are not trying to get you if you are married to do this. These are for our single
So
chimes.
Deidre
Okay.
said I'll
Do the speed dating. I'll be the
Um,
lab rat for you. Yeah, do it
Okay,
and then
good,
come on the
Deidre.
show.
And then you
know
can
what
come
I'm
on
saying?
and talk
Yeah,
to us
you
about
and
it.
Lady J. We know
So
both of y'all now.
we
You know
are
what I'm
expecting
saying?
you and Lady J, and I'm hoping Akua will be a part of that group as well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, that would be great.
By the way,
I wish we had
Hawks
some
by
men on
3
here.
going into the fourth quarter. Thank you, Primo, for the update. We were watching it on our phones the whole
Yes, we were
time.
watching, and I'm very proud of my team as
Yeah,
the coach.
we'll see how it goes.
As the coach of the team.
All right, y'all. Hey, we love you guys. We will see you again next week. Actually, we'll see you Friday also.
Yes.
We're going to be going out of town soon, so there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. You know what? I just realized something. No.
Lot of out of
No.
town.
What?
What?
Will we be back next week?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
You'll be
We'll
back in
I
town
will
if
be
your
back
flight
town.
gets
You're
in
right.
on
You're
time.
right. So I'm going on
So
a trip.
hopefully-
I'm coming back on Wednesday of next week. So I'm trying to get back in time. April may have to set up everything. So if stuff goes wrong, she's the one pressing the buttons next week. All right,
It's
y'all.
whatever he got set up. Well,
I'll set it up for you, and then I'll make sure you have it right.
I know
Okay,
what
y'all.
to do, though.
You do?
I do know what
I
to
don't
do.
think you do.
I do know what to do.
We'll see you next week.
Don't be doubting my skills.
That's true.
I watch and I do.
All right,
right, y'all.
See y'all later.
Bye.